Woo! How are you today?
Um, I don't really have a lot of words for how I'm feeling today. Um,
Mm.
I I am feeling a little defeated today. I'm tired,
Oh gosh.
and I need some time for myself,
Mm,
and I haven't invested enough of that yet this week, so I'm feeling a little overdue.
gotcha.
So, yeah, I just need to do a little self-care, get into a game, or just kind of lose focus somewhere and not have to worry about anything. But yeah, how are you? I'm not gonna go deep into my pit over here.
Well, I hear you on that, and it sounds like someone needs to take a little bit of time to discipline themselves on that 7-day motivation chart that we discussed last week.
Well, today is the day we're recording on, I should say, because when it gets released, it's always a different day. But it's a Wisen Up Wednesday today,
Mhm.
and reading is not going to put me in the place I feel like I need to be. I
Gotcha.
did read some affirmations today though, so that was nice,
There
but
you go.
I just I need a little relaxation, so I'm gonna go get a pedicure.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
Yep, yep. And I got therapy tomorrow, actually tomorrow too. So therapeutic Thursday.
Hmm.
Hello. So we'll get a little self care in tomorrow. I'll probably just go to bed early tonight.
Gotcha. Well, good luck with that,
Yeah.
but
Shh. Don't say anything. How are you?
won't. There's a lot going on right now. It's a little stressful at times, but it's all exciting stuff at the end of the day. And, just trying to chop away one thing at a time. But,
I
once
hear that.
you get something off of that list, something else pops
Finds
up
his
and
way
happens.
onto
And
it.
then you're just like, God damn it, I thought I was done doing this. And now,
Every time.
yeah, so there's been a lot of that going on lately, but,
Mm.
it's
Your
his life.
time will come.
Yeah.
Your time to breathe shall come.
One can only hope. Uh,
I do. It's
yeah.
actually funny you say that. I was just talking with a customer about that today,
Mhm.
about working on a to-do list, and the customer is like, "Yep, just trying to get things done on my to-do list." And I'm like, "I feel that." But once you get something off that list, something else finds its way onto it. And he's like, "Yep." Same thing you were saying. It's really what it is.
Yeah, pretty
Never
much.
ending lists. Why do we make lists? Ugh,
Well, it's
ugh.
helpful to stay on track, so lists are
It's true.
needed.
Very true. I've been writing mine and it's been helping me out. So
Mm.
guess I can't be that mad about it because I'm getting things done.
Exactly, and that's why you've been uber busy lately, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. 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 Anywho, what are we getting into today? Because I don't even want to talk about this list. I need to take a break from this list.
Yeah, well,
And you sound like you need one. So
uh, well, that's per usual because lists aren't my thing, and I'm sure they would really help me out, so I'll I'll start trying to work on that.
all right.
Um, but, this for today, what I wanna talk about is not something that is happy by any form or fashion. This is actually gonna be kind of like a deep topic.
Mm,
So before we even really get into it, I would just like to do a disclaimer, that, what we are about to talk about can, um, cause some triggers for some individuals if they might be able to relate or, certain things. So just fair warning. But before we get into that as well though, do you see like a lag in my video or is it just me?
um,
No, you didn't see anything the whole time?
no. If I'm gonna be honest, I think I look at myself a little more than I look at you, but
Well, there you have it, folks. But okay, no,
told my
it just
secret. Damn it.
looks a little weird. So for those watching the YouTube, I don't know if it's gonna come out like that, but whatever. Anyways, so back on track here. Um, I am just so absolutely devastated by the events that are happening this week, and I'm just like beside myself. And this once again, this mass shooting that happened in Texas at this elementary school. Say, see, it just cut out. That's so weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you just like started doing a little sign language on us and stopped talking.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I was talking, but I don't know what happened. Oh
We're
God,
having an interesting day.
we are. I can't. I
Uh,
can't. Um, but so this shooting that just happened in Texas, I'm just so beside myself that someone had the nerve to walk into an elementary school and shot 19 children, two teachers, and there was like 17 other people that have been injured.
yeah. Um,
That shit is heavy. Like we really just like need to take like a moment of silence for them just because it's just like beyond words like that somebody can even do that.
yeah, it leaves me pretty speechless to be honest too. Um, I can't say I'm always the best with current events, right? As we already know, you and I previously discussed this. Um, sometimes I really have to separate myself from what's happening currently in the world or even just the country alone because of things like this.
Yeah.
And no, it's not always a good thing to separate myself because, yeah, you kind of need to know what's going on around you. But at the same time, like shootings, how many shootings have there been this year?
Girl, so I can try to see if I can find the exact statistic, but like I read something where today is like the 144th day of 2022 and we've already had like over 200 shootings in America. That's more than one
Alone
per day.
in one country.
It's absurd. Like I don't understand. And from what I've been learning about this case, so this was some 18-year-old kid who shot his grandmother in the face. I guess they were having some kind of like a dispute over like a phone bill or something like that. And
Mm.
he shot her in the face. He hopped in her truck, drove it towards this elementary school where he like crashed it, and then pretty much like bombarded the school with a rifle and barricaded himself into this classroom and pretty much killed everybody in that classroom. And then the cops were able to come in within like the hour, I think, and kill him.
An hour.
Yeah. Like I just I don't understand. And I guess he like posted to social media like saying that this is what he was going to do, but it was like literally like seconds like before he did the things. So
Mm.
it's not even like somebody could like see it and report it because it was happening like in such real time.
Oh my gosh. Like I seen a post that said we're teaching children how to pretty much evade a mass shooting
Mhm.
and pretty much like, well, this is what you're supposed to do and good luck.
Right. Pretty much.
Whereas we're not keeping the environment around them safe.
Not at all.
And I just I don't even really know what to say around it to be honest because of course it's so sad and like you said it's devastating. Like why is this the type of shit that's happening?
I don't like
But
why is that your thought? Like, okay, I'm gonna go into the school and kill people. Like kids. It's just so disgusting.
how do you not have some type of like mental test before going to get lethal shit?
Well, and that's a part of a topic that I want to talk about. I feel like when these things happen, people like to shy away from wanting to like regulate like gun laws and stuff. And like I don't know. I really don't understand that argument. Like yes, I do believe like part of it has to do completely with mental health, but there is also the gun law
Mhm.
aspect that plays into part. So like this kid
Mhm.
had just like turned 18, walked into like a store where you can buy guns and legally bought two rifles with like over 400 rounds of ammunition. Like, why is that not questioned? Like, anybody that buys that much ammunition or whatever, I feel like should have some kind of like like it should get reported to, someone to like have them
Mhm.
review this person or be on the lookout for them or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not normal. Like,
It's not. But even so, if it was to be reported, I'm gonna be me and say this shit is just a setup anyways. Like anything it like to me, I'm gonna go there and say that yeah, I do have a lot of like conspiracy theorist opinions. I'm going to say that. And the main thing is because if you look at the past few years, a lot of things that have happened is to instill fear in people. COVID was said to be a man made type of thing. And then all of a sudden, there's this monkeypox thing,
mhm.
which where the fuck did that come from?
I don't know.
Right. But my thing is that there's these sicknesses going on scaring people. There's different types of mass shootings going on to scare people. But they want to like the government wants to focus more on abortions and things like that where a woman could be raped and want to have the option to have an abortion because she was raped, but they want to change rules around that. But let's not have some sort of control around like actual weapons. And yeah, we can have control around weapons, but then once again, I just feel like it's a setup of some sort because you really can't win. They have welfare for people who aren't able to provide for themselves. Who the hell is able to provide for themselves after being on welfare? You see so many people go onto welfare and they stay on welfare.
Well, yeah. Well, I think a lot of people just kind of like take advantage of the system
They
or like
take
they don't
advantage
try.
of it.
Yeah.
And the system wants them to take advantage of it, so they become reliant upon them.
Right.
And it's just like, so when I see things like mass shootings, it's like, I know with everyone, there's not a indicator at some point in their life that like this person should probably be on meds or this person should probably be like in an institution or we should do something about this person. I know you can't do that for everybody because it's so random,
Right.
but I honestly feel like some of the situations aren't fucking random.
Yeah.
It's just
Well,
another way to scare people. And then it's sacrificing other people's lives to scare the majority of the country.
but what's the purpose of scaring people though? Like, what's the
Control. Once people are afraid, you have control. Look at when people had to wear masks. That shit caused conflict because you're not wearing a mask and they're telling us to wear a mask. And if you don't wear your mask, I'm going to get sick. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get that. You're going to get sick or you're not going to get sick regardless. That's just going to fucking happen. Like some people have a stronger immune system than other people. I literally had a woman threaten to call the police on me because I was at work not wearing a mask. Ma'am, I'm not bothering you though. I'm literally doing my job. Yeah, well, it was mandated. It's just another form of separation and making people scared. And when people are scared, they're not thinking for themselves.
No, but I mean, I guess I get confused with understanding like what is the end game? Like what is like you say control, but then like okay, like what's
Right.
the purpose?
Well, I'm not a part of the secret society, so I don't know what their I don't know what their end game is. But the thing is, once you have control over people, you can get them to do more of what you want them to do. People don't think for themselves once they're being taken control of. Think about someone who's like a victim of like physical or verbal abuse. They let the other person take control of them and it takes them a while to save themselves if they are able to save themselves from that situation.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
don't know.
a marionette.
Yeah.
So it's just like I'm not saying this mass shooting was something that was scripted or planned, but it's just another thing that I feel like is added to the plate to just scare the shit out of people, which this is rightfully to scare people because you send your children to school, you think they're safe.
Right.
You're not. But it's just like, Oh, another reason for people to want to stay in the house. Another reason for people to not want to actually live and enjoy their lives because of bullshit.
But, like, what's the point though? Because, like, people getting out and enjoying life, like, that helps the economy. So,
Does it help the economy? There's so many shops closed down from this virus.
it does, and I see it firsthand in New York, with everything going on, like, the tourism and stuff has cut down, like, drastically, and that is hugely, like, ruining New York City. It's ruining housing, it's ruining
Hmm.
entertainment, like, everything. It's just New York City thrives off of tourism. Without
Oh,
that,
for
like, New York
sure,
City is nothing.
for sure.
So, I just I don't know. For me personally and, whatever, we can have completely, like, different views on things, whatever, that's, it is what
Yeah,
it is. But, like,
yeah.
I guess I just have a hard time understanding, like, the concept behind, like, what sense does that make?
I have not been one of those people to dig super deep into it.
Mm.
With a few people who have dug into it, and I barely have the energy to vacuum every day. So we know that I'm not digging that deep. But
Yeah.
with me, I just know certain things aren't right because of how it feels. And I feel like I'm much more in tune with myself than I ever have been. And for me, I just have gut feelings of something's not right because it's just going to lead to something else not being right. And
Mhm.
no, I don't know, and I really don't want to know what the ultimate goal is. But when you have things like formula shortages, what, like, how the fuck are there? Oh, because the U.S. closed down whatever, and then all of a sudden, random was it like distributors or whatever for produce have caught fire.
'Cause I don't even know
So
the reason why, to be honest. You see it everywhere, but I don't know, like, what
right.
caused that.
But why is it all of a sudden happening? These shits could have caught fire any time in the life. But why is everything crashing? Feel like it's crashing down all at the same damn time.
I get that, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like that's the stuff with me that just That's what it is. Things that make you go
I mean, well, they
Sorry.
certainly make you go, "Hmm," and, like, I guess I can kind of understand so, like, coming back to, like, this mass shooting, right? So,
Mhm,
like, I can kind of understand it in a way because so these things happen, like, take Sandy Hook, for example. That should happen 10 years ago.
mm,
You get everybody up in a tizzy, everyone's talking about it, they wanna bring up gun control, this, that, and the third, and then, a few weeks pass by, and then, like, everyone forgets about it until the anniversary, and then it's a thing again, and then it dies down, and then, like, another mass shooting happens, and nothing gets resolved, and it's just like a revolving door of, hysteria over this incident that happens, people having discussions, it disappearing, and then another
mhm.
mass shooting happens, and it just keeps going around and around in circles, and no one's doing anything about it, and why
Insanity.
that is, I don't know, because, like you said, they are bringing up all these other issues like abortion and stuff, which don't even get me started on that. But, like, why do we feel like we can't do anything about it, or why is these mass shootings just being looked at from, like, a mental health standpoint, and we're not doing other things to make sure that these people who might have mental health issues aren't getting the help that they need, and also why are they being allowed to go and purchase these weapons? Like, I feel like it's a dual responsibility across multiple.
Platforms, yeah.
Right, so, like, that part of it, I can understand because the people that are in those positions to, you know, make that change and make things happen
Mhm,
aren't doing it for some reason. And that's not to say, I don't think that there is like a true answer for how to resolve these issues, but we can at least
mhm.
always have these conversations because the fact that we're in June and we've already had like more than one instance per day this year is like absurd to me. Like,
It's
take
crazy.
this Buffalo shooting last week. Like, people can't even go to the grocery store without having to look over their shoulders. Like, what the fuck is that about?
It's ridiculous. It's like you said, it's a vicious cycle, aka insanity, because the same shit keeps happening over and over again. So instead of, because with that being a situation of black people being killed, so instead of black people just being nervous on a regular daily, which they still are. But
Right.
say we go back to the 60s and, just innocently being killed, which, yes, it's 2022 and they're still innocently being killed.
Mhm.
But it's like another form of divide years later. Like,
Yeah.
oh, now that business is not going to probably have black people go there because they may just think that area might have some type of racism or something going on because of
Right.
this one individual.
Right. Well, and
Th-
that guy, he's crazy too. So I read this article today on him that he was running around stabbing a cat and like decapitated it. I was like, I
This is
feel like
that shit I
you
don't understand.
gotta be real inhumane and like just something not right with you if you can just kill like an innocent animal. I don't know.
I swear this is most of the time why I be living in my own bubble because
Well, and I forget you don't really like this kind of stuff. I'm like the true crimer. Like I'm
right.
I'm all up in this shit all the time. So
Right. Like, remember, I'm like
just remember
majestic
that.
and daisies and roses and frolicking through this nice field of happiness. Like, because
Not me.
honestly, this type of stuff literally sucks the energy out of me. It depletes me.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
sad.
it's like, right. And maybe it's like empathic feelings or something along those lines of just once you hear about it, it really just like takes control of you and really brings you down. And I just, I can't survive like that. I really can't. And I know it's real things, but like I said, sometimes I have to just keep myself out of the situation to an extent
Right.
because obviously I want to know what's going on. And, I have to be careful about what I'm doing and where I'm going as well. So
Mhm.
it's hard.
Yeah, it is, and it's so scary. Like even in New York City over, a month ago, we had that guy on the train who tried to shoot people. Thankfully, nobody died in that instance, but like it
Right.
it could have happened. It could have been my train. It could have, it's just why are people being able and feeling so free to just purchase these guns and fucking shoot random ass people when thankfully in his situation, one, he didn't kill anybody, but then he didn't
Mhm.
die either. The guy from Buffalo, he somehow didn't get shot and killed. But then this 18-year-old who shot up the elementary school, he was shot up like without question. So like why some people die, some people live, I don't know. Like the Parkland shooter, he's still living. The damn Aurora movie theater guy who tried to think he was fucking the
That
Joker
bullshit.
and Batman, like he's still living. Like we really need to like pick these people's brains and like figure out like what the fuck, like, and how, because something
That
needs to give and we can't just, they should all live because they need to be tortured for the rest of their life in my opinion, but we need to get something out of them too to figure this out because it's absurd.
is torture really satisfying? How satisfying is torture?
I'm sure it will be to all of those families who have lost a loved one.
Because I mean, I'm all about killing them. To be honest, like let they ass go. Um, and
Eventually.
I'm not fully opposed to torture either. But how long we torturing them for? Because I'm just gonna be anxious to off this mofo. You know what I mean? Like
Right, right. Or do what they did back in the old days and fucking bring them into the center of town and like beat them
eye
up
for an
or
eye,
hang them or something. Like
eye for an eye. That's what
hell
I say.
yeah. Like if we had more like what was it called? Like cruel punishments or whatever, like
Mm,
people wouldn't fucking do shit. Like if you do
they
that
wouldn't.
and like cut off someone's finger if they stole something, whatever, they wouldn't like people would be more afraid to fucking do shit.
I feel like yes and no, because some people are just that fucking crazy, as we see.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Oh my gosh, I just don't know.
I
What a
don't either.
topic you brought us today. Oh my gosh.
Because I just like my heart hurts like so I cannot imagine
Mhm.
like being a parent, bringing your kids to school, waving them off on the school bus, whatever, and then getting a horrific phone call and like just poof, like that's it. Like you're never going to see your child again. Or like waiting in that civic center for the cops to come up and tell you if your kid is still alive or not. Like
Oh
that
gosh.
agony.
Like, mm-mm.
And all because some stupid fucking 18-year-old had some like, you know, whatever kind of
Fantasy or
issues and
whatever. Right. Like,
like
damn, Cassie.
yeah, I don't know. I just had to get it off my chest because like this shit is just so crazy to me and we need to stop just like watching this shit on the news and then not doing anything about it. Like I've seen
Right.
so many of my friends who are majority of color and they would post things like, for the Buffalo incident, like, why
Mm-hmm.
is nobody saying anything about this Buffalo incident? Like, yes, you heard about it on the news, but like,
Mm-hmm.
people aren't making waves like they did when, like the war in Ukraine happened. And like, even this elementary school shooting, I feel like is getting more coverage than like Buffalo and stuff. And it's just kind of like, we need to keep talking about these things and we need to figure out like what the issue is. There's no reason why we would ever in life have another Sandy Hook event. Like that shit is just sad.
Well, shit. After was it fucking Columbine? There shouldn't have been shit after that.
Right. Because I think that was the real like first.
I hate to say, it, but that was like the OG of OG school shootings.
Yeah. And I think that we were in high school when that happened.
We were in high school. We weren't in middle school.
Was it middle school?
I don't know the year. Ooh, gosh, and I'm not even gonna ask you. I'm not even gonna look it up. I don't even want that on my tablet.
I don't
I
know. I don't
can't.
remember. Because
I
I
feel like
don't
actually
think,
we were in elementary school.
was it before? Oh, I think we had to have been. It was in 1999.
Yeah, that's when we
So yeah.
graduated from fifth grade.
Yeah. Because it was right before, well, a few years before 9/11. And I know for that we were in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just crazy. We haven't come very far in regards to progress in the past fucking however
As a
many years.
nation, no. Oh, we've come far when it comes to science and technology, though.
Right.
But when it comes to like fucking civil people, no,
Yeah. No, it's absurd.
no. It just seems to kind of get worse over time. And then now that so many people are stressed out, we have people who get paid low wages, but everyone's rent has gone up. We have
Hmm.
food, the price of food has gone up.
Girl, it is insane going to that grocery
The
store.
price of gas obviously has gone up.
Hmm.
The living expenses in this country have gone up. Of course, people are going to turn around and fucking go crazy
No,
because
yeah.
basic shit that we need or want to do or need to do is such a struggle. You're now sacrificing something. I seen a post that was like, oh, an average person, was it like federal pay is like 725 or something like that. I don't know if that was accurate or not. But the point they were trying to make is that people who are over here getting paid minimum wage can't even afford their rent.
Right.
They don't even get paid enough in a month to pay their rent.
Yeah.
How much sense does that make?
Doesn't make any, because to me, money is just like a figment of your imagination. And I
Just
feel
like
like,
credit.
right, like if they really wanted to, they can just like lower that shit one day and like, I mean, that's just my theory. Who knows what real like economics would look like? But I feel like you can just like make everything $2 again, like they were back in like the 80s, and everything would still be fine. I don't know.
Yeah, they just changed the value of the dollar is what it is, and that's what causes shit to be so expensive.
Right. Because it is wild. And I think that's part of the reason why mental health is becoming such a huge topic these days.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of a weird loop to bring it back to the end of the month for May, to really bring this home and talk about it, and just making sure that people really get those resources that they need. And like, if you do
Mm-hmm.
have one of those like kids in your class who's very like standoffish and like they're quote unquote like weird or whatever, or they drop out of school or whatever the case might be, like go check on them, because those are the people that truly need it the most, no matter how Like, uh,
Different.
yeah, there you go. No matter how different they are, those are the people that need people.
It's true. Those are the people that need people. All of us need people. The issue
Well,
is that
yes.
we all operate so independently also.
Right.
Like we need to work as a community on things. And the United States is so divided states
Mhm.
that people don't work together. And when people come together, there's so much of a better force. There's so much better results.
Yeah.
People thrive and survive and succeed so much better when we work together as teams. Like,
Mhm.
how do we grow up all these years in our life with teamwork, but then pretty much once you're an adult, it's straight independence? Like,
It's a great question.
they make codependency seem like such a terrible thing when it really isn't.
Yeah.
Like, you think back way back when, you can even think about, I always think about, like Native Americans in this instance,
Mm.
tribe, group of people, community.
Right. They couldn't have done that shit without each other.
Right. So it's like, what the hell are we doing today? Like, people are so divided and like, I don't want to do anything with that person, or I don't want to mix my business with this or that. But it's like, your
Mhm.
business is only going to be so great by
Right.
limiting yourself.
Yeah.
Even with like foods, like, okay, food shortage, here we have it. And produce, which is always one of the most fucking expensive things in a grocery store,
Yeah.
which irritates the shit out of me because that's what I buy the most, which is the healthiest for us.
Yeah.
People need to have gardens. Okay, share with your neighbor, but your neighbor should also lend a hand in maintaining that damn garden as well. Like, don't just
Mm.
be the neighbor coming over to say, "Hey, oh, you got more of that lettuce today? That shit was great last week. Let me get another head of that lettuce." Bitch, did you invest in my garden? Like, can we work together and make this garden grow? Because if we have two sets of hands, now we have double the produce we can get because it's not one person busting their ass all alone.
'Cause I don't know why, but I feel like you're saying that speaking from experience.
Well, I did have a neighbor that was I have strawberries out front, and I have one neighbor pressing me about what kind of strawberries there were,
Mhm.
and I didn't know because when I bought my condo, it was already, established. The harvest was already established.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, I don't know. She's like, yeah, your strawberries always grow so nice and this and that. And I'm just looking at her like, if you gonna put in some work, I'll give you some berries, but like, don't just be over here trying to hound my berries. And then someone snitched on another neighbor talking about, oh yeah, I've seen her come over and take strawberries out of your garden. And I'm like, I've been these every day. And I'm like, oh, I see a strawberry, it's almost ripe. And then the next day, it's gone.
See, I told you she's speaking from experience.
So I'm just saying, if your neighbor got a garden,
Just
just lend a hand, water that shit for them one
bringing up
day. Or
some random ass gardens for no reason.
I'm just saying though, but like gardens is where we're gonna thrive because that's our food source. I'm just saying. That's all.
Well, I'm not really sure how we got to food sources and gardens from mass shootings, but that's just what happens here on Mindset Talks podcast.
Because it's fearful. Fearful. You gonna tell me that you're not scared of having less food or uneasy about the thought of having less food? The gas thing, I'll end up figuring that out somehow. But food,
Buy a Tesla. Um, I
these people
mean,
can't even pay their rent. You over here talking about buy a Tesla. The- You see the pricing on vehicles now? That's also up with the gas.
yeah, that's true. I wonder
See?
if they've made that part again. Um, oh man, I don't know. The world's a shit show right now is the moral of this episode. But yeah, I don't even know what to what
What
to
she's
say, where
trying
to
to
go from
say, in
here.
my opinion, or what I'll say, is that yes, the world is a shit show right now, and it has been a shit show for some time. But don't let that shit show turn you into a shit show. These are the times where we have to stay strong. like we mentioned, your mental health is everything. You need to make sure that you are doing these things to take care of yourself. Because even though things around you are chaotic and going wild, you still need
Mhm.
to take care of yourself and not let yourself be a part of that.
Definitely.
Otherwise, I don't know what to say for you. But we as people need to stay strong and continue to believe that there is going to be a brighter side. But like Cassie said, if we're not doing anything to make a brighter side or to get to a brighter side or to even at least speak on what's hindering us from that brighter side, we're never going to make it there.
Yeah. No, definitely. We all need to, because like for me, like I don't know what to do to help, but if there's something that I can do, like I want to know because this is just way too sad and I don't
Hmm.
ever want it. I'm blessed enough that I don't have like personal experience with these kinds of things and I don't want to have to. So if there's
Right.
something I can do to prevent it, then I'm all ears because this is absurd and I think us using our platform to at least, like, talk about it and make sure we
Hmm.
maybe continue to talk about it, just to make sure it doesn't get forgotten because this shit is just crazy and it needs to stop.
Right. And I just want to say, I know I have my little conspiracy theorist thoughts and opinions. I don't believe everybody in higher power is terrible, but there are people who are higher than the people we know that may not allow those good ideas to be seen or to be executed. So I just want to share that piece. Thank you.
No problem. We appreciate your insights, and I think this is a good episode because it just shows that, me and Amanda don't always see eye to eye, but that doesn't mean we can't have
Right.
healthy conversations about them, and we don't have to stop being friends with each other because of it. So,
Right. Yeah, we need variety in our lives, please.
yeah,
Please.
definitely.
Yeah.
So, the takeaway, guys, though, on on some real shit is please just be safe out there. Please hold your families tight because you truly never know what can happen tomorrow. And
Hmm.
we got to figure out how to be better as a community to help others and work on our mental health, like Amanda said, and just really take it day by day and make sure you reach out to those people and give them a hug. Let them know that you're there.
That's right. And once you work on your mental health, teach your children because they're going to need the lessons as well.
Yes, definitely. Well, it's with a heavy heart in this episode, but I hope that you guys enjoyed it or got something out of it or, I don't know, whatever the case might be, but also feel free to write into us. Let us know what your thoughts are, what things you think can be changed, and, we'll try to use our platform to spread the word.
Definitely.
So that's all I got, guys. Thank you, and we will talk to you next time.
Until the next episode.